Chosen ones, your test is complete, and God's message is about to change everything in your life. The trials you've faced, the storms you've weathered, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on, they weren't random. They were the fire refining you, the crucible shaping you into the divine vessel God always intended you to be. Right now, at this very moment, His message is unfolding, a sacred whisper meant only for you, the one He has called by name. You're not here by chance. You're here because the Creator of the universe has a word that will shift your reality forever. Every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, every doubt you've wrestled with, it was all part of the test. God wasn't testing you to see if you'd fail. No, He was preparing you to receive what's coming next. Think of a seed buried in the dark, pressed down by the weight of the earth. It doesn't stay buried. It breaks through, reaching for the light, becoming something greater than it ever imagined. That's you right now. Your test wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The struggles you faced were the soil, and now you're breaking through into a season of divine harvest. You've carried burdens others couldn't understand. You've stood firm when the world tried to shake you. Maybe you felt alone, wondering why your path was so hard. But God saw every moment. He watched you choose faith over fear, courage over collapse. And now, His message is clear. Your faithfulness has opened the door to blessings beyond your wildest dreams. This isn't about fleeting moments of joy. This is about a transformation so profound, it will rewrite the story of your life. Pause for a second and feel this truth sink in. You've been tested, not because you were weak, but because you were chosen. God doesn't test the ordinary. He refines the extraordinary. Your heart, your spirit, your very essence, they've been forged in the fire of trials. And now, the gates of His promises are swinging wide open. Wealth, health, peace, purpose. They're not distant hopes anymore. They're your reality, waiting for you to step into them. If this message is stirring something in your soul, I invite you to take a stand. Hit that like button, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls, and leave a comment with the number 777. That number carries the power of divine completion, a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive what God has prepared. Do it now, not because you have to, but because your spirit knows this moment is yours. Look back at your life for a moment. Remember the times you thought you wouldn't make it, the nights you prayed with no answer in sight, the days you carried pain no one else could see. Those weren't moments of defeat, they were moments of divine construction. God was building something in you, something unshakable. Like a house built on rock, you've stood through the storms. And now His message is this: the foundation is set, and it's time to rise. Think of David, a shepherd boy facing a giant no one else dared to challenge. The world saw a kid with a sling. God saw a king. Your tests were your Goliath, and you didn't just survive, you triumphed. The same God who gave David victory is speaking to you now. He's saying, your battles weren't in vain. Every giant you faced was proof of the strength He placed inside you. You weren't fighting alone. His hand was guiding every step. This message isn't just words. It's a divine signal that your season of struggle is over. You've passed the test, not by your own power, but by the grace that carried you through. Now, the rewards are coming. Picture a river, endless and overflowing, carrying everything you need: provision, healing, joy. That river is flowing toward you now, unstoppable, because God Himself has opened its floodgates. Your life is about to become a testimony. People will look at you and wonder what changed. They'll see the peace in your eyes, the strength in your step, the glow of God's favor on you. They won't understand it, but they'll feel it. Your transformation will be a living proof of His power, a beacon for those still lost in their own tests. You're not just receiving blessings, you're becoming a blessing. Let's talk about what's coming. This isn't about small changes. This is about a complete shift in your reality. The dreams you've held in your heart, the ones you thought were impossible, they're not just possible, they're promised. God's message is that your purpose is bigger than you ever imagined. The tests you faced were training you to carry the weight of His glory. Imagine a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. The struggle to break free wasn't weakness, it was what gave it wings. You've pushed through the confines of your old life, and now you're ready to soar. Your health, your finances, your relationships, they're all being touched by this divine shift. God isn't just restoring what was lost. He's giving you more than you ever had. Some of you are already feeling it, a stirring in your spirit, a sense that something massive is about to break through. That's not your imagination. That's God's message taking root. You're not the same person you were yesterday. The tests stripped away what didn't belong, leaving only the truth of who you are. A chosen one, marked for greatness. Don't let doubt creep in. The enemy will try to whisper lies, telling you this is too good to be true. But God's promises are not fragile. They're built on His unchanging nature. When He says your test is complete, believe it. When He says blessings are coming, claim them. Your faith is the key that unlocks the door to this new season. Think of Noah, building an ark while the world mocked him. He didn't stop because he heard God's voice. You've heard it too, haven't you? That quiet assurance, that inner knowing that something greater is coming. Noah didn't see the rain until the ark was ready, but he trusted. Your ark is built. The rain of God's blessings is about to fall. This transformation isn't just about you. It's about the legacy you're creating. Your victory will inspire others. Your breakthrough will show the world what God can do. Every step you take in this new season will leave footprints for others to follow. You're not just walking into abundance, you're paving the way for those still in their tests. If you're feeling the weight of this moment, take action. Leave a comment with 777 to declare that you're ready for what God has in store. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls who are walking this path with you. Your engagement isn't just for the algorithm, it's a declaration that you're claiming your place in God's plan. Let's talk about the shift in your spirit. You've carried burdens for so long, but now you're learning to lay them down. God's message is clear. You don't have to fight anymore. The battle was never yours to begin with. He's been fighting for you, clearing the path, aligning every detail for your good. All you need to do is walk forward in faith. Picture a sunrise after the longest night. The darkness didn't win. It never could. Your tests were the night, but the dawn is here. God's light is breaking through, illuminating every corner of your life. What felt like chaos is now falling into place, piece by divine peace. This is His promise, and He never breaks His word. You might be wondering what this new season looks like. It's not just about money or health or success, it's about purpose. God's message is that you were created for something specific, something only you can do. Your tests were preparing you to step into that calling with boldness. The world needs what you carry. Think of Esther, a woman who faced a test that could have cost her life. She didn't shrink back. She stepped into her purpose, trusting God's plan. You're standing at your own Esther moment. The tests are over, and the palace of God's promises is waiting. Will you walk through the door, This isn't about chasing worldly success. It's about aligning with God's design for your life. The wealth coming your way isn't just for you. It's a tool to fulfill your purpose. The health you're receiving isn't just for comfort, it's to carry you through the work God has planned. Everything He gives you is for a reason. Some of you have been waiting for a sign. This is it. God's message is that your waiting is over. The tests shaped you, but they don't define you. What defines you is His calling, His favor, His unbreakable love. You're not just surviving anymore, you're stepping into a life of divine overflow. Let's talk about the people around you. Some will see your transformation and celebrate. Others might not understand. They might question the changes, wonder why you're different. That's okay. Your light will shine anyway. God's message is that your life will speak for itself, a living testament to His power. You've been through the fire, but you didn't burn. You've walked through the valley, but you didn't stay there. Every test was a step toward this moment. God's message is simple but earth-shaking. You are ready. The blessings, the purpose, the peace, they're yours. Claim them with every ounce of faith you have. If this is resonating, don't just watch, act. Hit that like button, subscribe to join the Chosen One community, and drop 777 in the comments. Let the universe know you're stepping into this new season. Your action is a declaration that you're ready to receive what God has already set in motion. Now, let's talk about the peace that's coming. You've known chaos, but God's message is that peace is your inheritance. Not the kind of peace the world offers, fleeting and fragile, but a deep, unshakable calm that comes from knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be. Your tests taught you to trust Him, and now that trust is about to pay off. Picture a tree standing tall through a storm. Its roots go deep, holding firm no matter how fierce the wind. That's you. Your roots are in God's promises, and no storm can uproot you now. His message is that the winds are calming, and the fruit of your faith is about to bloom. You might be thinking about the scars from your tests, the moments of doubt, the pain that lingered. God sees them too, and His message is this: those scars are not marks of shame. They're badges of victory. They tell the story of a chosen one who didn't give up, who kept going, who trusted when it didn't make sense. This new season isn't just about what you'll receive, it's about who you'll become. God's message is that you're stepping into the fullness of your identity, not the version of you the world tried to shape, but the one He designed before time began. You're becoming a reflection of His glory, a light that can't be hidden. Think of Moses, standing before the Red Sea with an army behind him. The test was impossible until God spoke. One word from Him parted the waters. One word from Him changed everything. That same God is speaking to you now, saying your test is over and the sea is parting. Will you walk through? Your life is about to become a story others tell. They'll talk about the chosen one who faced the impossible and came out stronger. They'll see the blessings, the glow, the purpose, and they'll know it was God. His message is that your story isn't just for you, it's for the world to see His power. The tests you faced weren't random, they were divine assignments, each one preparing you for this moment. God's message is that you've passed with flying colors. Now, the rewards aren't just coming, they're here. Step into them with confidence, knowing the one who called you is faithful. Some of you are feeling a shift already, a lightness in your spirit, a clarity you didn't have before. That's God's message taking hold. It's not wishful thinking, it's divine truth. You're not the same person who started this journey. The tests refined you, and now you're ready for what's next. Let's talk about the doors that are opening. Opportunities you couldn't have imagined are coming your way. Jobs, relationships, breakthroughs. God's been setting them up while you were in the fire. His message is that these doors aren't locked. They're wide open, waiting for you to walk through. You might feel unworthy, like the tests left you too broken for this kind of blessing. But God's message is clear. Your worth isn't in your perfection. It's in His love. He chose you, scars and all, because you're His. The tests didn't disqualify you. They qualified you for His purpose. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery, thrown into prison, forgotten by those he helped. His tests were brutal, but they were leading him to a palace. Your tests were leading you somewhere too, not to a physical palace maybe, but to a life of divine purpose. God's message is that you're almost there. This isn't about chasing a dream, it's about receiving a promise. God's message is that what He has for you is already yours. The tests were the proving ground, and you've proven yourself faithful. Now, the inheritance of the chosen one is waiting. Will you take it? If this is speaking to you, don't hold back. Leave a comment with 777 to claim this moment. Subscribe to stand with thousands of chosen one souls who are stepping into their divine destiny. Your faith is about to move mountains, and it starts right now. Let's talk about the joy that's coming. Not the fleeting kind that fades with the moment, but a joy that bubbles up from deep within, rooted in the certainty of God's plan. Your tests taught you to find joy in the struggle, and now you'll find it in the overflow. His message is that this joy is your strength. Picture a desert blooming after rain. That's what your life is becoming. The dry places, the barren moments, they're turning green with God's provision. Every test was a seed planted, and now the harvest is here. His message is that you're about to see growth you never thought possible. You've been carrying a vision, haven't you? A dream, a calling, something God placed in your heart. The tests tried to bury it, but they couldn't. His message is that this vision is coming to life, not by your strength, but by His power. What He started in you, He will finish. Some of you have been misunderstood, judged, or overlooked. God's message is that those days are ending. The tests showed you who you are, and now the world will see it too. Your life will be a testament to His faithfulness, a story that silences doubters and inspires believers. Think of Hannah, praying through years of barrenness, mocked by those around her. Her test was her waiting, but God heard her. He answered with a son who changed history. Your waiting wasn't in vain either. His message is that your answered prayers are on the way, bigger than you imagined. This new season is about freedom. Freedom from fear, from lack, from the weight of the past. God's message is that you're not bound by what was. The tests broke the chains, and now you're free to walk in His purpose. Every step you take is a step into liberty. You might be wondering how to move forward. God's message is simple. Trust Him. The tests taught you to lean on His strength, and that's all you need now. He's already gone ahead of you, preparing the way. Your job is to follow, one faithful step at a time. Picture a riverbed, dry for years, suddenly filled with rushing water. That's your life right now. The tests were the dry season, but God's message is that the water is flowing. Abundance, peace, purpose. It's all pouring in. You're not just surviving, you're thriving. Some of you are feeling a fire in your spirit. That's God's message igniting within you. It's not just a feeling, it's a call to action. You've passed the test, and now it's time to move. The blessings are here, but they require you to step out in faith. Let's talk about the legacy you're building. Your tests weren't just for you, they were for those who will come after you. God's message is that your life will be a lighthouse, guiding others through their storms. Your victory is their hope, your breakthrough their inspiration. Think of Abraham, tested by years of waiting for a promise. When he trusted God, he became the father of nations. Your tests are leading to a legacy just as powerful. His message is that your faithfulness will bless generations, starting now. You've been refined, chosen one. The tests weren't meant to break you, they were meant to reveal you. God's message is that the world is about to see who you really are. Not the version the tests tried to bury, but the one He created for greatness. This is your moment. The tests are over, and God's message is clear. You are ready. The blessings, the purpose, the peace, they're not coming someday. They're here now. Step into them with every ounce of faith you have and watch what He does next. Let's talk about the vision God is planting in you now. The tests you faced weren't just about survival, they were about clarity. Each challenge sharpened your eyes, teaching you to see what others miss. Now, His message is this: you're being given a divine blueprint, a glimpse of the future He's designed for you. This isn't a vague dream, it's a vivid picture of purpose, painted with colors only God can provide. You've walked through shadows, but they didn't dim your light. Instead, they taught you how to shine brighter. God's message is that your vision is unique, tailored to the calling He placed in your heart before you were born. Others might not see it yet, but you do. It's that quiet certainty, that inner fire that says, "This is what I was made for." Trust it. It's His voice guiding you forward. Picture a map unfolding in your hands. Every test you faced was a marker, a point on the journey leading you here. God's message is that the map is complete now. You're not wandering anymore, you're walking a path He's already charted. Every step feels surer, every decision clearer, because His vision is becoming your reality. Some of you have felt stuck, like the tests trapped you in a cycle, but God's message is breaking that lie. You're not stuck, you're being positioned. The tests were setting you up for a moment when everything aligns. That moment is now. The vision He's giving you isn't just for tomorrow, it's for today. Act on it, even if it's just one small step. If this is stirring your spirit, take a moment to claim it. Hit that like button, subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls, and drop 777 in the comments. That number is a declaration of divine alignment, a sign you're ready to walk in the vision God's revealing. Do it now, and let your faith move the mountains in your way. Let's talk about the strength you've gained. The tests didn't just refine you, they rebuilt you. God's message is that you're stronger than you know, not because of your own power, but because His strength flows through you. Every time you chose to stand, to pray, to keep going, He was pouring His might into your bones. Think of a diamond, formed under pressure, hidden in rough stone. The tests were the pressure, and you're the diamond. God's message is that your brilliance is ready to shine. The world might have seen the rough exterior, but He's always seen the treasure inside. Now, it's time for everyone else to see it too. You've carried wounds from the tests, but they're not weaknesses. God's message is that your wounds are now your wisdom. They've taught you compassion, resilience, and a faith that can't be shaken. What the enemy meant to harm you, God used to arm you. You're not just a survivor, you're a warrior, equipped for the battles ahead. This strength isn't loud or boastful. It's quiet, steady, like a river carving through stone. God's message is that this strength will carry you into places you never thought you'd go. Doors you thought were closed will open. Opportunities you never imagined will appear. All because you've been made strong in Him. Let's talk about the favor on your life. The tests weren't just about proving your faith. They were about positioning you for God's favor. His message is that you're walking under an open heaven now. Blessings aren't just trickling in, they're pouring. People will notice, opportunities will multiply, and your path will be marked by His grace. Picture a field after a long drought, suddenly drenched in rain. That's your life right now. The tests were the dry season, but God's favor is the rain. His message is that everything you touch will begin to flourish. Your work, your relationships, your dreams, they're all coming alive under His divine touch. Some of you have felt overlooked, like your efforts didn't matter. God's message is that He saw every moment, every prayer, every sacrifice, every act of faith. It was all recorded in His book. Now, His favor is rewriting your story, turning overlooked into undeniable, invisible into unforgettable. This favor isn't random. It's the reward for your faithfulness. God's message is that He's placing a crown of favor on your head, a sign that you're His chosen. People will be drawn to you, not because of what you do, but because of who He's making you. His favor will open doors no one can shut. If you're feeling this truth resonate, don't just listen, act. Leave a comment with 777 to declare you're ready for His favor. Subscribe to stand with thousands of chosen one souls walking in this same promise. Your action is a step of faith, aligning you with the blessings God's already releasing. Let's talk about the peace that's settling over you. The tests brought chaos, but God's message is that chaos is ending. You're entering a season of rest, not laziness, but a deep, soul-level calm. It's the kind of peace that lets you sleep through the storm, knowing He's in control. Think of a lake, still and clear, reflecting the sky above. That's your spirit right now. The tests stirred the waters, but God's message is calming them. His peace is reflecting His presence in you, making you a mirror of His glory. Others will see it and be drawn to the calm you carry. You might have fought for peace in the past, trying to find it in people or things. God's message is that true peace comes only from Him. The tests taught you to stop chasing and start receiving. Now, His peace is flowing into every corner of your life, healing what was broken, soothing what was bruised. This peace is your anchor. No matter what comes next, you'll stand steady. God's message is that the storms can't touch you anymore. You've been through the fire, and you've learned to trust His voice. That trust is your foundation, and it's unshakable. Let's talk about the relationships God's bringing into your life. The tests weeded out what didn't belong: people, habits, mindsets that held you back. His message is that new connections are coming, ones that align with your purpose. These aren't just relationships, they're divine partnerships. Picture a garden, pruned to make room for new growth. The tests were the pruning, cutting away what couldn't stay. God's message is that He's planting new seeds now, people who will walk with you, support you, and reflect His love back to you. These connections will be stronger than anything you've known. Some of you have felt alone in your journey, like no one truly understood. God's message is that your tribe is coming. The tests prepared you to recognize the right people, those who see your light and honor it. You won't have to explain yourself anymore, you'll be known and valued. These relationships aren't just for comfort, they're for purpose. God's message is that He's aligning you with others who share your calling. Together, you'll build something greater than you could alone. His hand is on these connections, guiding them to you at the perfect time. If this is speaking to your heart, take a stand. Drop 777 in the comments to claim these divine connections. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls stepping into this new season. Your faith is the key that unlocks what God's already prepared. Let's talk about the authority you're stepping into. The tests weren't just about endurance, they were about awakening the power God placed in you. His message is that you're not just a participant in His plan, you're a leader, called to walk with boldness and speak with conviction. Think of a lion rising from rest, its roar echoing across the plains. That's you right now. The tests taught you to roar, not with pride, but with the authority of one who knows their place in God's kingdom. His message is that your voice will carry weight, changing lives and shifting atmospheres. You might have felt small in the past, like your words didn't matter. God's message is that those days are over. The tests built a confidence in you that can't be shaken. When you speak, people will listen not because you demand it, but because His power flows through you. This authority isn't about control, it's about stewardship. God's message is that He's entrusting you with influence, not for your own glory, but for His. You'll lead others to truth, to hope, to the same God who carried you through the fire. Your life is becoming a lighthouse for the lost. Let's talk about the healing that's happening. The tests left scars, but God's message is that those scars are being transformed, not erased, but redeemed. They're becoming part of your story, proof of His faithfulness. Every wound is turning into a testimony, every pain into a purpose. Picture a broken vessel, pieced back together with gold. That's your heart right now. The tests cracked you open, but God's message is that He's filling the cracks with His glory. What was broken is now beautiful, stronger than before, a masterpiece of His grace. Some of you have carried guilt or shame from the tests, thinking you failed or fell short. God's message is that you didn't fail, you grew. His healing is washing away the lies, replacing them with truth. You're not defined by what happened, you're defined by what He's doing now. This healing isn't just for you. God's message is that your restoration will overflow, touching those around you. Your story will bring hope to others still hurting, showing them that God can mend what seems beyond repair. You're not just healed, you're a healer. If this is igniting your spirit, don't hold back. Leave a comment with 777 to claim your healing. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking in this promise. Your action is a declaration that you're ready for God's transformation to take root. Let's talk about the provision God's releasing. The tests taught you to trust, even when the storehouse looked empty. His message is that the storehouse is full now, overflowing with everything you need. Not just enough, but more than enough, because He's a God of abundance. Think of a table spread with a feast after a season of hunger. That's your life right now. The tests were the hunger, but God's message is that the feast is ready. Wealth, opportunities, resources, they're being laid before you. Not because you earned them, but because He loves you. You might have wondered how you'd make it through, how the bills would be paid, how the dreams would survive. God's message is that He's already answered. The provision is coming in ways you can't predict, through doors you didn't expect. Trust Him. He's never late. This provision isn't just for you, it's for the vision He's given you. God's message is that every resource you need to fulfill your purpose is on its way. You're not just receiving, you're being equipped to build, to create, to leave a legacy that glorifies Him. Let's talk about the clarity you're gaining. The tests clouded your vision at times, making you question your path. But God's message is that the fog is lifting. You're seeing with new eyes, understanding with a new heart. His plan is becoming clear, step by divine step. Picture a sunrise breaking through the mist. That's your mind right now. The tests were the mist, but God's message is that His light is cutting through. You're not guessing anymore, you know. The questions that haunted you are being answered, and the path is opening wide. Some of you have felt confused, torn between choices or directions. God's message is that clarity is your portion now. The tests taught you to listen for His voice, and that voice is louder than ever. Follow it, and you'll find every step is guided. This clarity isn't just for big decisions, it's for every moment. God's message is that you'll walk with a new sense of purpose, seeing His hand in the small things as much as the big. Your life is becoming a canvas, and He's painting a masterpiece with every choice you make. If this is speaking to you, claim it now. Drop 777 in the comments to declare your clarity. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls stepping into this divine vision. Your faith is aligning you with God's perfect plan. Let's talk about the joy that's rising in you. The tests tried to steal it, but God's message is that joy is your birthright. Not a fleeting happiness, but a deep, unshakable joy that flows from knowing you're His. The tests couldn't take it, and nothing ever will. Think of a child, laughing freely, unburdened by the world. That's your spirit right now. The tests weighed you down, but God's message is that He's lifting the weight. Joy is bubbling up, overflowing into every part of your life, a sign of His presence in you. You might have thought joy was for others, that your tests left no room for it. God's message is that joy was always yours, waiting beneath the surface. The tests uncovered it, revealing a strength you didn't know you had. Now, it's time to let it shine. This joy is contagious. God's message is that it will touch everyone around you. Your laughter, your peace, your light, it's drawing others closer, showing them what's possible when God moves. You're not just joyful, you're a spark, igniting hope in a weary world. Let's talk about the courage you're stepping into. The tests taught you to stand when others would fall. God's message is that this courage is your mantle now, a gift that will carry you into new territories. You're not just surviving, you're conquering. Picture a warrior standing tall after battle, unscathed by the chaos. That's you right now. The tests were the battle, but God's message is that you've won. Your courage isn't loud, it's steady, rooted in the knowledge that He's with you, always. Some of you have hesitated, afraid to step into the unknown. God's message is that fear has no hold on you anymore. The tests broke its grip, and now you're free to move boldly. Every step you take is backed by His power, guided by His hand. This courage is for a purpose. God's message is that He's calling you to lead, to speak, to act in ways that will change lives. You're not just a follower anymore, you're a trailblazer, carving a path for others to follow. His strength in you is unstoppable. If this is igniting your soul, don't wait. Leave a comment with 777 to claim your courage. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking in this divine boldness. Your action is a declaration that you're ready to step into everything God has for you. Let's talk about the restoration God's bringing. The tests took things from you: time, dreams, relationships. But His message is that nothing is lost forever. What the enemy stole, God is returning, multiplied. Your restoration is a sign of His unending love. Think of a city, rebuilt after ruin, stronger and more beautiful than before. That's your life right now. The tests were the ruin, but God's message is that He's rebuilding. Every broken piece is being set back in place, crafted into something greater than you imagined. You might have mourned what was lost, thinking it was gone for good. God's message is that He's a God of redemption. The tests didn't destroy you, they cleared the way for something new. What's coming back is better, stronger, and perfectly aligned with His plan. This restoration isn't just for you, it's a testimony. God's message is that your comeback will silence doubters and inspire believers. People will see what He's done in you and know that He's real. Your life is becoming a living proof of His power to restore. Let's talk about the purpose that's unfolding. The tests weren't random, they were shaping you for a mission only you can fulfill. God's message is that your purpose is coming into focus, a divine assignment that will change the world in ways only He can see. Picture a puzzle, each piece falling into place after years of mystery. That's your life right now. The tests were the pieces, scattered and confusing, but God's message is that the picture is clear now. You're stepping into the role He created you for. Some of you have wondered why you're here, what your life is meant to mean. God's message is that the tests were your training ground. Every challenge prepared you for this moment, equipping you to carry out His plan with precision and passion. This purpose isn't small. God's message is that you're called to something bigger than yourself. Your life will touch others, shift systems, and leave a mark that lasts beyond your years. You're not just living, you're building a legacy for His glory. If this is resonating deep in your spirit, act on it. Drop 777 in the comments to claim your purpose. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls stepping into their divine calling. Your faith is the spark that sets this plan in motion. Let's talk about the protection God's placing over you. The tests exposed you to attacks, but they also revealed His shield. His message is that you're covered, guarded by His hand. No weapon formed against you will prosper, because you're His. Think of a fortress, standing firm against every assault. That's your life right now. The tests were the attacks, but God's message is that His walls around you are unbreakable. You're not just safe, you're untouchable. Wrapped in His divine protection, you might have felt vulnerable, like the tests left you exposed. God's message is that He's been your shield all along. Every attack that came your way was filtered through His hands, allowed only to make you stronger. Now, you walk in His safety. This protection is your confidence. God's message is that you can move forward without fear. The tests taught you that nothing can separate you from His love. With His shield around you, you're free to chase your purpose, knowing He's got your back. Let's talk about the opportunities God's opening. The tests closed some doors, but only to lead you to better ones. His message is that new paths are appearing, each one aligned with His plan. These aren't just chances, they're divine appointments. Picture a road, once blocked, now clear and wide. That's your journey right now. The tests were the obstacles, but God's message is that He's removed them. The opportunities coming your way are His gift, tailored to your calling and ready for you to seize. Some of you have felt limited, like the tests narrowed your options. God's message is that His plans are bigger than your circumstances. The tests were preparing you to recognize the right opportunities, the ones that lead to His purpose. These opportunities are your stepping stones. God's message is that each one will take you higher, closer to the life He designed. You're not just walking, you're climbing, moving toward a future that shines with His glory. Trust Him and take the next step. If this is speaking to your heart, don't hold back. Leave a comment with 777 to claim these opportunities. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking in God's favor. Your action is a declaration that you're ready for the doors He's opening. Let's talk about the confidence God's building in you. The tests shook your foundations, but they also revealed your strength. His message is that you're not just capable, you're unstoppable. The confidence you carry now is His gift, rooted in His truth. Think of a tree, standing tall after a storm, its roots deeper than ever. That's you right now. The tests were the storm, but God's message is that your roots are strong. You're not swaying anymore, you're standing firm, ready for what's next. You might have doubted yourself, wondering if you were enough. God's message is that you've always been enough in Him. The tests showed you what you're made of, and now you walk with a confidence that comes from knowing He's in you. This confidence is your power. God's message is that it will carry you into rooms you never thought you'd enter, conversations you never thought you'd have. You're not just showing up, you're shining, a reflection of His glory in every step you take. Let's talk about the breakthrough that's here. The tests felt like walls, but God's message is that those walls are crumbling. What seemed impossible is becoming reality. His hand is moving, breaking every barrier that stood in your way. Picture a dam holding back a flood, finally giving way. That's your life right now. The tests were the dam, but God's message is that the flood of His blessings is here. Everything you've prayed for, everything you've waited for, it's breaking through. Some of you have felt close to giving up, thinking the tests would never end. God's message is that your breakthrough isn't coming. It's here. The tests were the final push, and now you're stepping into the overflow. Believe it and watch it unfold. This breakthrough is your testimony. God's message is that it will speak louder than words. People will see what He's done in you and know He's real. Your life is becoming a miracle, a living proof that His promises never fail. If this is igniting your faith, take a stand. Drop 777 in the comments to claim your breakthrough. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls stepping into this divine moment. Your action is a declaration that you're ready for God's power to move. Let's talk about the freedom God's granting you now. The tests chained you to doubt, to fear, to the weight of what others thought. His message is that those chains are broken. You're not bound anymore, you're free to live as the chosen one. He created unshackled and unstoppable. Picture a bird, caged for years, finally soaring into the open sky. That's your spirit right now. The tests were the cage, but God's message is that the door is open. Your wings are ready, strengthened by every trial. Spread them and fly into the life He's prepared for you. You might have felt trapped, like the tests defined your limits. God's message is that limits don't exist in His plan. The tests were teaching you to see beyond the bars, to know your freedom was always within reach. Now, it's yours to claim, a gift from His hand. This freedom is your power to create. God's message is that you're not just living, you're building. Your dreams, your vision, your purpose, they're all taking shape now, unhindered by the past. Step into this freedom and watch what you can do with His strength. If this is stirring your soul, don't wait. Leave a comment with 777 to claim your freedom. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls soaring in this new season. Your action is a declaration that you're ready to live unbound. Let's talk about the wisdom God's pouring into you. The tests weren't just obstacles, they were lessons, each one carving truth into your heart. His message is that you're not just wiser, you're a vessel of divine insight, ready to navigate life with clarity and purpose. Think of an ancient tree, It's rings telling stories of storms survived. That's your mind right now. The tests were the storms, but God's message is that each one added a ring of wisdom. You see things differently now, with eyes that discern His truth in every situation. You might have felt confused, unsure of which path to take. God's message is that confusion is gone. The tests taught you to hear His voice above the noise. Now, every decision you make is guided by a wisdom that comes from walking through the fire with Him. This wisdom is your guide. God's message is that it will lead you through uncharted territory, past pitfalls others fall into. You're not just making choices, you're making divinely inspired moves, each one aligning you closer to His perfect plan. Let's talk about the abundance God's releasing. The tests made you feel lack, but they were only temporary. His message is that abundance is your inheritance now, flowing in ways that will overflow into every corner of your life. From your finances to your peace. Picture a well, once dry, now bubbling with endless water. That's your life right now. The tests were the dry season, but God's message is that the well is full. Everything you need, resources, opportunities, joy, is spilling over. A gift from His generous hand. Some of you have lived with scarcity, wondering if there'd ever be enough. God's message is that enough is too small a word for what He has planned. The tests prepared you to receive more than you imagined, not just for you, but for those you're called to bless. This abundance is your testimony. God's message is that it will draw others to Him. They'll see the overflow in your life and know it's not by chance, it's by His design. You're not just blessed, you're a beacon of His limitless provision. If this is igniting your faith, take a stand. Drop 777 in the comments to claim your abundance. Subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking in this overflow. Your action is a declaration that you're ready for God's provision to flood your life. Let's talk about the influence God's giving you. The tests taught you to stand firm, but they also prepared you to lead. His message is that your voice, your presence, your life, they're becoming a force that shifts atmospheres and inspires others. Think of a lighthouse, cutting through the fog to guide ships to safety. That's you right now. The tests were the fog, but God's message is that your light is shining. People are drawn to you, not because you seek attention, but because His glory radiates through you. You might have felt invisible, like your efforts went unnoticed. God's message is that those days are over. The tests refined your influence, making it pure and powerful. Now, when you speak, act, or simply exist, others take notice, moved by His Spirit in you. This influence is your calling. God's message is that you're not just here to live, you're here to change lives. Your story, your strength, your faith, they're tools He's using to touch hearts, heal wounds, and point others to His truth. Let's talk about the joy God's restoring. The tests tried to steal your laughter, but they couldn't touch what He placed in you. His message is that joy is rising again, not as a fleeting moment, but as a steady flame that lights up even your darkest days. Picture a sunrise, painting the sky with colors after a long night. That's your heart right now. The tests were the night, but God's message is that the dawn is here. Joy is breaking through, filling you with a lightness that no trial can dim. You might have thought joy was lost, buried under the weight of your struggles. God's message is that it was never gone, just waiting. The tests uncovered it, revealing a joy rooted in His presence, not in circumstances. Now, it's yours to embrace. This joy is your strength. God's message is that it will carry you through every challenge, making you a source of hope for others. Your laughter, your peace, it's contagious, spreading His light to those who need it most. You're not just joyful, you're a joy bringer. If this is speaking to your spirit, claim it now. Leave a comment with 777 to declare your joy. Hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls shining in this season. Your action is a step of faith, aligning you with God's radiant plan